What's up, fam? Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to start a blog. Now, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, notifications, all the buttons, all the things. Anywho, one of the biggest questions that I always get is, how do you start a blog? Now, it's so funny because I feel like everybody right now is a blogger, vlogger, Instagrammer, wanting to get into it. It's your New Year's resolution to do it. So I figured it was the perfect time to do this video about how to start a blog. And the best piece of advice that I was ever given is to just start. Now, I know that seems like the lamest piece of advice ever, but seriously, whenever you're starting something new, it's scary, it's terrifying. And the best thing to do is just start. Know that when you're starting is not where you're going to be finishing. Now, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be, probably something that you're proud of, not in like a mean way, but something that you're like, oh, I have a lot of learning to do. And that is the main thing. You win or you learn. You don't win or lose, you win and learn. So when you're starting out, learn from what you're doing. Look at other accounts and see what equipment that they're using, how are they engaging with it. Okay, we're gonna get into that in a second. But step number one is to just start. Put yourself out there, record, take the photo, do the content, just start. Okay, so the second piece, before you buy a website, before you buy a domain, before you do anything, is to decide what your content buckets are. Now, I always like to have 3 to 5 different content buckets that I fit all of my content into. And so what I mean by these content buckets would be, for example, if you wanted to be a lifestyle vlogger, blogger, Instagrammer, you would need to figure out what your 5 different content buckets are. Now, this could be something like family. So you're going to showcase your family on your channel. The second one would be recipes. You love to cook, so recipes is an easy content bucket for you. The third one might be travel. You love to show the different places that you're taking your family to travel. So those are just 3 examples of different content buckets. But when you identify what your content buckets are, you're then able to more successfully create your content that your audience is always going to know you for. For example, you never want to, have this relationship with your audience, and then for some reason you're posting about I don't even know, planets or something. And it's like, wait, what? Like, I followed, this account because I love her family and her recipes and where she takes them to travel to. So it's really about being consistent and identifying what those content buckets are. So after you've identified what your content buckets are, then identify what your tone and voice is. Now, a little bit about me is I used to be the chief of staff of a digital marketing agency in Dallas. And so one of the things that we always did was we would walk our clients through this so that everybody would be on the same page when we were creating content for them. And so your tone and voice, this is something that I don't think gets enough credit, especially when you're in the blogging, vlogging, and Instagram sphere, because your tone and voice is essentially how you say the word yes. Now, that sounds stupid because it's like, oh, you just said the word yes, so obviously it's yes. But it's so much more than that. Do you say yes with a yeah, sure, totally, yeah, man, sign me up? How do you say the word yes? So something that a lot of people I think get caught up on is trying to be perfect on camera and perfect on the keyboard. But the thing is, nobody likes talking to an encyclopedia. Nobody likes to watch an encyclopedia. Why do you think vlogs are taking off versus just somebody reading from the encyclopedia? People want real people to connect with. So don't be afraid to be yourself and really identify what makes you you in that tone and voice. Now, when you're coming across too in this tone of voice, make sure that if you're wanting to always be positive, rereading it and making sure that there is that positive, uplifting vibe. But at the same time, note that people also love the sadness and the raw and the realness, because that's what being human is all about. It's about, going through the highs and the lows, but the best part is when you go through those highs and lows together. Okay, so moving on from tone and voice, the next biggest thing is to identify I like to identify 5 to 10 accounts that I really connect with and I really strive to be like. Now, the thing is, with these 5 to 10 accounts, they can all be, you know, different pieces that I like about them. Like, one is I really like this style that she does all of her shots and everything looks very picturesque. But then at the same time, I love the food photography of another account. So it's all about identifying the different parts and pieces of your dream accounts that you strive to be like. Because I always say you always need to be having a goal or something that you can grow to. Because if you started out perfect in the beginning, it would be no fun because you couldn't grow anywhere. That's so boring. Anywho, so identify these 5 to 10 accounts that you aspire to be like, but not copy. There's a difference between copying and aspiring to be like, especially when you're taking apart different pieces of the account and not the account as a whole. Okay, so because you've then identified the 5 to 10 accounts that you super love, you then need to identify your not list. So this list is something that you are not going to showcase on your channel. I'm a huge advocate for not just asking the question of like, what do you love, but also what did you hate? Or maybe not hate, but like, what did you dislike? Because there always has to be that balance, and the dislike isn't necessarily something that needs to be deemed as wrong or harsh or critical, but something that you can grow from and learn from. So these things would also be brands that you weren't going to work with. For instance, our channel is very family friendly. We have a little 2-month-old baby, so we love to keep things positive and just family friendly, and that it doesn't matter if my grandmother, my mom, my aunt, sister, brother, Connor's family, anybody watches these channels, I'm not going to have anything embarrassing on them or too scandalous. So something on my not list is I'm not going to be partnering with any lingerie brands or showing lingerie. And that's a pretty basic, broad example, but just something to kind of like wrap your mind around, because as you grow and as you become more successful, these brands are going to reach out to you and offer you some great deals to buy into. But it's important to stay true to your brand, because after all, that's why your followers follow you. Okay, so I believe that was step number 4. Step number 5 would be to then develop your website. So one of the things that I feel like everybody always talks about is your color scheme. My color scheme, I feel like, has really changed throughout the years, and that's okay, because guess what? You evolve too. So I use the website hosting called SiteGround. I was previously using Bluehost, which I didn't like because my website speed was starting to lag. So I had to actually switch from Bluehost to SiteGround, and so far their website speed has been tremendously better. I'm gonna drop that link down below so you guys can check it out yourself. But through SiteGround, it's hosting, and so that's your hosting platform. And the WordPress or website builder, I guess I use, is wordpress.org. That is different than wordpress.com, which is wordpress.org. You're allowed to do more HTML coding and customization on the back end, which if you are growing, you definitely want to invest in wordpress.org versus wordpress.com. From there, you can find a template. I love using the Impress templates. I'm going to link those down below. They have a ton of customizable options too. They're definitely more girly, so if you're a guy, probably not something that you want to look into, but if you are a girl, oh, check them out. They're beautiful. A lot of the big bloggers use them. They have the perfect plugins for reward style, like to know it. They're shoppable links. It's great. It's been definitely like my favorite website template that I've bought, and I bought quite a few. Okay, so from there, you're going to want to, and I'm also going to link that link down below. Okay, so from there, you're also going to want to be signed up with affiliate links. The 2 affiliate links that I love the most, there's a ton of affiliate links for different websites depending on where you like to shop, so definitely look into those. The 2 broad ones are going to be Amazon affiliates, and I'll put that link down below, as well as Reward Style, which Reward Style is the back end of Like to Know It. So if you're following any of your favorite fashionista bloggers and they're like, swipe up for the outfit details or swipe up for the products, they are using most likely Like to Know It, which is the back end of Reward Style. also going to be linked down below. Those are two great, easy ways to already start making some money when you're blogging and vlogging and Instagramming, because you can put that link in your bio, put those links down below in this video on your blog, and people can click it and buy the products that you are recommending or just simply using. So the last piece of advice that I have when starting a blog, and if you really like this type of content, be sure to let me know down below, because oh my gosh, there's just so much to talk about. But the last thing when starting a blog is to be consistent. Right now, it's so hard to start something and be consistent about it, because you post and you're wanting that instant gratification of likes. Instant gratification is like, oh my gosh, I went viral. You know, that instant gratification of that you made it, versus, oh my gosh, I'm starting this and nobody liked it and I'm silly and I'm embarrassed and I don't know what to do. So the best thing is to just go full speed ahead. Make your content calendar out and don't give up. Have an accountability buddy. I have 2 different calendars that I use, one for like my day-to-day calendar and then one for my month at a glance content calendar, so that I can write out what content I'm doing, really a full scale of what I'm shooting, what I'm posting, what I'm talking about, the whole point of this image or this blog post. And so don't give up. Literally, that is like the last thing, is don't give up, because it's so easy to give up. It's so easy to get discouraged. This space is getting more and more saturated, but I promise you, if you stick to it, you can do it. There's more than enough success in this world for everyone, and I cannot wait to see where you grow to. So if you really like this video, be sure to subscribe, like, comment your thoughts on what you think. If you did get started with a blog, I would love to see it, so put it down below. I'm a huge supporter of supporting each other, as it's not a competition at all. And don't compare yourself to others, because comparison is the thief to all joy. So I will see you guys next time, and good luck with starting a blog.